Hi, everybody, and how are you doing? I hope you are doing well. Welcome to my channel, and I'm so excited. This is 10 from Kenya to Japan, and in this channel, I share very educational videos on how you can travel from Kenya to Japan or from wherever you are from, you're watching from to Japan. And mostly, I get to share about teaching jobs and how you can apply and come work and live in Japan. Now, I'm excited because I am doing educational videos just to, let you know the requirements and basically everything about working as a teacher in Japan. And I'm so excited because I have good friends who watched my videos before. They took the step and applied, and they are now actually on their way or planning to go and work in Japan. So if that's what you're looking for, please remember to subscribe. Yes, that's the best way actually you can support my channel and help me grow my content and what I'm doing. And I hope God blesses you as you do that and as you get to work your way into or journeying if you're journeying to moving to Japan. All right. So now today I want to talk about the requirements. Yes, this is a very first step that you need to sit and look at the requirements that you need to go and work in Japan. But the good news is these requirements are nothing, huge. This is some of these requirements are not, some things that you actually need to go far and wide to look for. This is a door for a lot of people. So, and let's talk about that today. Let's talk about what are the requirements. What do I need? So get your pen and paper because this is very informative and this is very important because it basically the very first stage. Now, first of all, the first thing you need to do before you go to Japan, you need to learn how to use chopsticks. Yes, because no spoons, no forks. Anyway, yeah, that was the interesting part about going to restaurants and there are no spoons and forks and I have to, struggle my way using a chopstick. But I'm an expert now. I'm an expert. Anyway, so first of all, I think it's very important for me to say this part because I don't just want to tell you to just apply and go to Japan. And then once you get there and you're working there and you're like, oh, feeling lost, I think it's very important for me to say this. It's so important for you to talk to God and in regards to your purpose and the purpose that He has for you before you even pack your bags, before you even send that application. I think this is very important. And I was thinking about it while I was working on this video and I was like, God, help me to just make this clear. It's so important. Have you talked to God? It's a new year. Have you talked to God about what plans He has for you? He says that in Jeremiah 29:11. I know the plans I have for you. And this is something I really had to do when I was doing my application because mine took so long. It took 2 years. And I kind of prayed. I was like, God, is this the plan you have for me? Is this the door that you have for me? Because some of us are called to, prosper and be blessed in Kenya. Some of us are called to be blessed and prosper in Japan. Others is, this world is big, yeah? And as God told Abraham, the promises of God to Abraham, He sent him to a faraway land and God blessed him there and prospered him. So I really would like to advise you, take time, pray about it before you even go there. And I was reading Psalms 37:5 that says, commit your ways to the Lord and trust in Him, and He will do it. Yes. So if you're trusting God for this, go for it. But the most important thing, pray about it first. Hear from God. Because trust me, as you go to Japan, as you leave and go to work in Japan, in some of these nations, you find that they have their own way of, they have their own religion, they have their own. And if you're a Christian, you need your God. So that's the first thing. Hear from God if this is your purpose, yeah? Hear from God that He wants you to do this. And trust me, He will bless you. He will open every door for you. So that's a very, very important. Just be very clear. Let your purpose be very clear, okay? And I know some of us, we go for a season, it's not permanent. It's probably a path for us. So I think that's really important. Talk to God, pray. All right. And I'm going to do another video about finding a church in Japan because, again, if you're a Christian and you go there, and mostly the nation is Buddhist and 1% Christian, how do you find a church? Because finding a church was like very important for me. The church community was such a blessing for me. So that's important. Okay, that's a video for another day. But today, let's talk about requirements. Now, I have some good news. Yes, the good news is you don't need to be a teacher to teach in Japan. That's very good. You don't need to have a teaching degree. That's also very good. Okay. So that means that everyone who has a degree is qualified. You have a chance. That's right. So I've had so many people asking me about diploma. I have a diploma. Now that's that's a challenge because the requirement is you need to have a degree. That's important. Yeah. And so that's good. Well, the other good news is you don't have to speak Japanese. Yeah, because Japan people basically don't speak English. Most of the people, Japanese is the language. Okay, and that's why actually you're going to teach English. So but the good news is if you're going to work as an English teacher or as an ALT, that's assistant language teacher, you don't need to speak Japanese. Of course, I always tell people it's good to learn how to say watashi wa Joyce, konnichiwa. So those are important. Yeah, learn the basics. How do you buy stuff? If you go to the restaurant, how do you order? How do you say hello? How do you say thank you? Those are important things. Just few words to to get you going. But of course, once you're in Japan, of course, you're gonna find that you're learning and picking words. And of course, you also find that if wherever you're going to be placed, there's a city hall, and most of the city halls they do free lessons for foreigners. So enroll. That's important, and that's an opportunity to also learn about the culture. All right, so that's good. So first one is you need to have your degree. Yes, that's right, and it can be in any field. Okay. Number two is you don't need to have any level of Japanese. Yeah, but of course, my advice is learn some Japanese. Okay. Now, the other thing is, of course, you need your passport. Yes, you need your passport. That's the key to getting out of the country, and then you also need to have your TESOL. So the TESOL, I think this is important for me to say. The TESOL or TEFL is a course you take online. Okay, you find the TESOL school. Just go to Google and find TESOL school or WESOL, and you find so many schools. Now, once you do that, just go Google and sign up, and it's a 2 weeks class, and you get a certificate. And this really like puts you a step ahead, because most of the schools will ask you, "Oh, do you have a teaching license?" Yeah, but do you have TESOL or TEFL? Yeah, so it doesn't have to be the TSC teaching license. So, but this is really good, and I always advise people, please take this course. It's very useful for you if you're planning to teach English abroad, because it's kind of just prepares you and helps you to learn about how do you handle different culture, classroom management, and all that. It's a very good one. So please keenly take that, and it's going to be helpful for you, and it's going to prepare for you, because they also teach you, like, prepare you about interview, what to expect and all that. So that's important. So do your test, and it's about 3,000. That's $30. That's about 3,000 Kenya shillings. Yeah, so it's not so expensive. You can do it, and you can do it. It's self-paced. Most of the classes are self-paced when you take them online, and you just like, you can do it within your timeline. Yeah, so it's very flexible, and yeah, it's good to have it. Now, so that is TESOL. Now, the other thing is, I know for Kenya, you need your police clearance certificate. That's a good conduct. I think that's easy to get. You just apply online and go for it. So that's important. They need to check your criminal background, yeah, because you're going to be working with children. Now, the other thing that you will need is now I will talk about teaching experience a little bit. If you have, they'll ask you mostly even in the interviews, do you have teaching experience? Now, the teaching experience is not mandatory, but of course, if you do have some teaching experience, that's good for you. Yeah, so that's good for you. My teaching experience was actually online. I was an online tutor for some time during the COVID season, so that was like good for me. So I had really not yeah, that was basically my experience, so that's good. Okay, now the other thing that you need is now you need to prove that you went to school for 12 years and that the main language of instruction was English. Okay, now this is especially because for us, Kenya or Africa, English is not our first language. We are not native English speakers. Yeah, so you need proof that you went to school and the main language of instruction was English. Now let's talk about this first. Now if you're in Kenya, where I come from primary school to university, the whole time, I mean, the main language of instruction is English. Actually, we take Swahili as a subject, yeah? So now what you'll be asked for is you need to go back to school. But the good thing is this step usually happens after you have been accepted or you've passed the interview, right? So you need to go and get a letter from your primary school. It's just a letter that says, oh, this person went to this school from this year to this year, and the main language of instruction was English. Signed and stamped. Go to your high school, do the same. University, you don't need that because you have your transcripts. So that's basically it for that part. So that part is important because they want to be sure that, yeah, you like you've gone to school for 12 years and main language of instruction was English. So that's important. Okay, now the other thing is, so these are some of the things that will set you apart. Not a must have, but they're going to ask you for it and it's going to set you apart. First one is a driver's license. Yeah. Now, when you have a driver's license, it sets you apart because some employers are looking for people to work in rural cities, like countryside cities. And some of these countryside cities, you basically will need to drive because maybe you need to go to different schools. And of course, probably the train doesn't get to where you'll be staying or where the school is. So having a car really helps. So that's important. So if you have a driver's license, oh, that's a plus for you. Okay. But remember, it's not a must. Okay. And I've had my friends who've applied and they actually didn't have a driver's license, but they say they're willing to go to school or to take a driving class. And that was an advantage for them. So that's good to remember. Okay. Now, the other thing that you're going to need, let's see, relocation money. Yes. Well, we're going abroad to take a job and the job's going to pay you at the end of the month. And some jobs, they pay you at the end of the second month if you're going. So basically you need money for food, for transport, and for all that, right? Now, I'm going to do a whole new video about this relocation money and basically explain to you what it is and what it means, yeah? Of course, when you're traveling, you need some pocket money. You need money to eat. You need money for to pay bills and all that. So that's some of the things you need. So basically, those are some of the things you need. And the last thing I want to say is you need to have a love for children. Yes, you need to have a place in your heart for children. You need to be able to have the patience to work with children, because remember, you're going to work with children. They don't speak your language. They speak a different language, and of course you're going to work as a teacher in a school. So you need to be able to, if you don't love children, this is going to be hard for you. Let me be honest. You need to be able to have love for children, be patient enough to work with children. It's nothing hard. Yeah, teaching English is nothing that is hard. But it needs passion and it needs patience. If you have children, you know that you need to be patient. And I think it's basically any other job, right? So, but I think it's very important for me to mention this. Don't just travel to go and work in a school as an ALT, and yet you don't have love for children. You're gonna struggle for sure. You don't have the patience to work with children, you're going to struggle. So this is basically it. So these are the requirements. And like I said, these are not very difficult. These are not requirements that are out of this world. They are things you can do, you can find, or you probably have. So this is where you start. So if you have these requirements, then you're good to go, right? So, and of course, you probably wondering, what about age? Is there an age limit? Maybe I'm 50 and I want to try. The age limit is between 20 to 60, 20 to 60. So if you're in between there, you're good to go. So thank you so much, friends and family, for watching this video. I hope this was helpful. Now, the next thing is take your step and go and apply. So I look for my video that has recruiting companies. It has all the links. Go there, get one job, apply, and get to go. And remember to subscribe. I see I have so many views, but I have very few subscribers. So please remember to subscribe. Give me some love. Anyway, God bless you all. Have a good time and keep it locked here. I'm doing another video this week. So stay tuned and God bless you all. Bye for now.